Hey guys, Bryce Fairley with the Marketing Squad, Chief Storyteller here. Wanted to get with you today. We've shot a video in recent weeks that just kind of summarized what we're about during this COVID situation, and it was really we didn't form a task force, but we did put together 4 ways to equip your business during this time. And number one was get your house in order. Number two was update your systems. Number three, stock your pantry. And number four, get over the hump. And we've shot individual videos breaking each one of those down. That'll be rolling out. I'm going to cover topic number four, get over the hump. And I'm going to dig into that and just kind of walk through bullet by bullet what my thoughts are on that as we're kind of processing here internally, how it's changing how we operate, how it's affecting how we do marketing for our many marketing partnerships and clients that we have on retainer. And so I just want to jump into that because we definitely have to change our mindset. Our sales teams are grounded, so to speak. They're not having coffee and lunch appointments, going to networking events. Those things just aren't happening. They're happening digitally on Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, but not in the typical way. So marketing teams, are still operating, I'm sure. Most of that can be done virtually, but the creative, collaborative sessions that happen in front of whiteboards or around tables in offices, those are definitely suppressed a little bit during this time, I would say. So bullet number one is just marketing and selling from your back deck, from your kitchen table. How do you do that? How do you make that transition? And for us, it's just really been changing the mindset that we're still going to have activity. We're still going to be making phone calls, sending emails, but a lot of it has transitioned to social media. How can we have conversations there? Which part of that I love, because those platforms and tools, whether it's Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, they started as conversational tools. They became, drudges of content sharing and information in a very noisy place. And I do believe that a lot of the conversational aspects of those tools has come back. The goal ultimately would be that they can start there. We can capture people in our CRMs and better our data, put people into our pipeline. And when things open back up, we're back in front of people, across the table, at the coffees, at the restaurants, whenever that might be. But in the meantime, we've got to operate with an inside sales mentality. So that's going to mean, digging into your CRM, making sure your data is better. Maybe it's a good time to segment your email lists. We've done a lot of that here. People are getting inundated with email, but from the right people at the right time, I think they still want to hear from you. Again, the social media conversations, up in your game out there. I've gotten back on a tool that I used, early on, Twitter, a social media tool that I was really active in, and I just walked away from it. I had an account, I updated something, I ran about a ball game or something, but yeah, I've gotten active in that again. I've gotten active more on LinkedIn, and it's just about having those conversations, being willing to be out there. I think there's a big part of this. It's about checking in on people, your clients, your prospects, just having the mentality that you're there to help. One of my favorite speakers, Doug Weed, uses this concept of IOUs. We've all got a checkbook that we can write checks to anybody, and it's these IOUs that we've got out there. But so many of us want to not write that check until we get a check from somebody else. It just doesn't work that way. So we're thinking like that. How can we help others? How can we do things? It's going to come back around to us at some point. We're getting compensated on some things, other things we're doing and waiting to be paid on, and other things we're jumping in and seeing where we can just be a help. So that's that covered a few of the first bullets there. I think there's a mentality right now just about learning, jumping in, diving in. There's a lot more time to read books, digital content, to up your game. One of our core values is disciplined learners here at the squad, and just there's more time to do that right now. So the last thing and bullet I want to talk about is just a different mindset of what's business development look like now. That top 3 lines or 3 inches on your P&L, the income revenue. How do we increase that during a time like this? So there's retention, which is an obvious thing that we've talked about already, but in increasing it, we've got to think of what new services, what new avenues can we be going down? How can we, generate more from our existing base? What industries are going to do well in this? There's got to be time that you're spending thinking about, who's going to do well, who's going to tread water, and who's going backwards. We've seen people go backwards and people close. It's happening. So I think you got to have that business development mentality and just everything you're doing. And it can't just be some brainstorm session. It's got to be focused. And so we're definitely taking steps around here at the squad to do that. We're helping our clients to think that way. And the last point I want to make is just we're storytellers by nature. We look for clients and businesses that have a great story to tell. Man, there's no better time to tell that story and cut through the noise out there. Find what your uniqueness is and get that message out there in a way that makes that client the hero, and you've got the solution to the problems and the pains they're experiencing. And so I would encourage you to do these things, get in this mentality, and that'll help us all get over the hump.